Hi, my name is Shaylen Nelson. I'm an artist based in Los Angeles. Currently go to UC San Diego, and I'm currently working towards my studio art degree for UC San Diego. So for my artistic style, I would describe it as pretty much a little bit of a surrealism mixed with some contemporary statements that I try to make. So I might do something that's very kind of outlandish. I try to challenge these societal norms that we've come to know, and I try to do it in a variety of different ways, whether it's like painting my nails or doing something that's just really against tradition. And then I like to just do traditional paintings as well, but showcasing Black beauty instead of the traditional European culture that we've seen throughout history. Black beauty in comparison to like European beauty, like right, seen throughout oil painting culture, you could say, or just painting culture in general. It's very rarely showcased, if not never. But I feel like on social media as well, you don't really see a lot of praise for Black beauty. And so I feel like using my art, I like to use my art as a tool to put Black people on a sort of pedestal that we deserve, because our traits, our culture is just as great as so many others that are put on a pedestal with paintings. So I'm really blessed to have my art be a tool to showcase this Black beauty and just the great culture that we have. And a number of people that have inspired me to do oil painting, it's very, very few. I would say a majority of the artists are Black artists. You have this artist named Kevin Williams, who I found off of social media. This other artist, Kehinde Wiley, he's a great African-American artist as well. But as a whole, learning art history and all that stuff, there wasn't too many artists that I really resonated with. Before, like I said, like European art history, you see a lot of European artists, you see a lot of white artists, and it might be cool and all to see all of their beautiful paintings, but it's just not something that I can culturally resonate to. So in terms of like finding a role model to look to, I didn't really have that growing up as an artist. So it was really just trying to find my inspiration through the culture that I have and through my background that really pushed me to do the kind of art that I do today. I would love to inspire young kids, specifically African American kids, to want to go into the art field a lot more. I just feel like the arts are just so underappreciated. I feel it's undervalued too. I mean, I feel like if we look at our school system, it's like a great representation of how underrepresented and underappreciated the art system is, how arts classes are just like electives, right? Whereas you have like some science courses which are mandatory courses, right? So, it just shows in our society how art is not really deemed as like valuable or useful, when in reality, a lot of jobs require a lot of creative people, a lot of unique people who have really just creative thoughts. And so because of that, I would love to see a lot of my culture and people from my background taking up this art form and taking up this skill of just showcasing their culture, showcasing their beauty, making artistic statements. And that's my goal as an artist, to be able to inspire young kids to be able to take up this art form. So I would definitely say that is a myth. When people say you cannot make money as an artist, that is a big myth. Because especially in today's age, there are so many different new jobs that have been opening up that require artists, that require creative thinkers, that require people who can work in very creative ways. Traditionally back in the day, like in Van Gogh's time, there's that trope of being the starving artist, where you have to sell your paintings to make a living. Whereas nowadays, you have artists who can go into they can be a concept artist for like video games. They can work on animation for movies. They can be a photographer for models. They can do filmmaking. They can work on films for music videos and for other musical artists. So there's a lot of So there's a lot of different avenues for artists today, and many different ways that artists can make money today. So I feel when people say that you can't make it as an artist, or you just can't get there financially, I think that's a big myth. And I have 100% faith in my career that I can make it as an artist. I took this piece to Hollywood, and I was protesting. I was marching with Malia for I think about 4 hours. And so the piece basically just shows the 400 plus years of repression that we've been dealing with, and just generational, like a generational goal of just trying to get us to a land of peace, right? And like a time of peace. You have the black baby trying to reach that cliff that just shows peace, and you show like the ropes of strife, the ropes of oppression holding back the parents, holding back the generations from achieving that. This year, it was the opportunity for this to be showcased even more, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like you have the coronavirus going on, so it's like everything is closed, like sports got canceled. So the only thing to look at is the Black Lives Matter protests, right? And so it's getting people who would always just like change the channel, so like the sports channel, or to change it to something else, or to go out to go eat. They can't do that. The only thing that's showcased right now is Black Lives Matter. So in terms of like the craziness that's going on in 2020, that's like one of the good things that's coming out of it. I feel a lot of people have been actually watching it and paying attention to it. So the people who have been trying to ignore it, they can't ignore it anymore. I would say that's just one of the best things to use your art and just your gift for. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a little discouraging when I see really great artists who have like the potential to say something with their art, with the medium that they have, and they just don't do it. So I feel like I see too many people who don't do it. So it just kind of encourages me even more to use my gift, to use the skills that I've made, that I've grown, to use it for something like this. Whether it's like through music, through art, visually, through sculpture, through filmmaking, like I feel like we all can contribute to getting the message across, and and make an impact in the best way we can. The biggest thing I want to say about social media is on the theme of censorship. I feel like social media, specifically Instagram, has a very big issue with censorship, and I feel like it's very bad for artists, whether they're painters or photographers or filmmakers. I follow this one artist who makes really hyper-realistic paintings, and he literally has to censor his art. He has to censor the nipples, or he has to censor the body parts, just for the fact that it's too realistic and it looks too much like a photograph. And so even though it's a painting, he has to censor his art. And I feel like censoring your art, you're taking away from the art of it, and it's not really your art anymore if you're covering part of it. So that's one thing that I don't like about social media. One of the pluses of social media that I can say, though, is that social media is like a little test demo for me to see how the rest of society works, right? So in my group of people who follow me, I use that, and when I post something on my page, I use the reactions that I get from those group of people as a little test to see how the rest of society may look on that one particular thing that I'm making a statement about. If I'm talking specifically, I can say if I'm doing a statement about nail art, right, and I paint my nails or something, if I post that up on my page and I see how people react to it, it gives me a sort of, expectation of how the rest of the world may view it as well. So I love to use my platform as like a little demo spot to see how the opinions of the rest of the world may think. I like to get reactions out of people for my work. I guess like specifically in terms of like the gendered societal norms that we do. Like I said before, like painting my nails, right? And I feel like specifically, like, can I show you like this piece? This piece right here. This piece right here, I feel like looking back at it, it was honestly like the first step that I took in like a very subtle way towards making like an artistic statement on social media about these social norms and trying to challenge it, right? I feel like looking at this painting, looking at the self-portrait that I have, that's me adorning these nails of a woman on my face, right? She's having her hands on my face, and me myself, I'm not painting my nails, but I'm still adorning the nails that she has on me. And so in a way, I'm kind of like scratching that line of like, okay, like, is this like socially acceptable to do? Like, I'm a guy, and I'm not supposed to paint my nails, but yet I'm still adorning these nails based off of another woman's fingers. And so I eventually got, the scratching to say, you know what, like who cares about social media? Like, let me paint my nails. Like, let me see how social media is gonna react to this. So I paint my nails, take pictures with that, see how they react, and it's really interesting seeing their reactions from that. Another thing about social media that I want to address is the boundaries that we set up in terms of like what is beautiful, what is not, what is acceptable as beauty, what is not. And I feel like, I try to express this through my paintings, like the painting of the girl with the pearl earring, and express African beauty in that type of way. But also, right, I try to express male beauty as well, right, the beauty of a man. And I feel like that is seen a lot in paintings, right? You look at traditional paintings and that type of stuff, and you can see the great artists of like Michelangelo, like Donatello, who do like really beautiful paintings of men. But it's like you take that painting out of the context of that canvas and you put it in the real world, and you put a guy, nude, or he might be showcasing his beauty, and it's not deemed as beautiful, as much as a woman's beauty is. And though they're both, oh my gosh, like they're just amazingly beautiful, but it's like we try to compare them, and I feel like that's something that we don't need to do. But with social media, we do that anyways, right? So that's another thing I love to do, is kind of experiment with the idea of beauty. And I try to showcase myself as an art piece in different ways, right? I'll use my body as like a sculpture. I'll use my body as a painting, and I'll showcase that in that type of way, like a live type of painting, right? And I try to see the reactions that I get from people and how our culture responds to that. Like just recently, I did a post where I did a post of myself nude on a beach, and I put reference pictures of Michelangelo's work of the Sistine Chapel up there, and just showing how beautiful that those men look on the Sistine Chapel. And it's like, how come men can't be appreciated this way in real life society, right? How come it's only women who can get that appreciation, which I understand, because like the beauty of a woman is so beautiful. But I think rightfully as well is a man's beauty too. So that's another thing I try to showcase on social media, and I try to just push those societal norms that we think that we've come to know. One thing that I realized as an artist, and I can actually say UCSD helped me with this, is going beyond just the technical skills of art, right? Going beyond just the fundamental stuff that we have to learn when we're growing as a very young artist, right? So throughout community college, I had to learn how to do shading. I had to learn values. I had to try to transfer a picture into a drawing, right? Kind of like copy and paste type of thing. But it's like when you get to a certain level in the art world, you notice that every other artist around you can do like the exact same thing that you can do. They can draw an apple super realistically just as you can. They can draw a portrait just the same way. So I realized like it's more, it starts to be more about the concept, the idea, the statement that you're trying to make with it. It's like if I'm just doing a picture of somebody and I'm transferring that to like a piece of paper and it looks exactly the same as the picture, like what statement am I actually making? You know what I mean? Like what part of myself am I leaving on the canvas? And that's something I had to really think about, because it's like, it goes beyond just the technicality of it. You want to leave expression, you want to leave thought, you want to leave room for questioning, room for questioning yourself, room for questioning society as a whole. And that's one thing I realized. And so I feel like this piece in particular really shows that. I try to go beyond just the normal fundamental stuff and I try to go deep into my head and try to think of the concepts that can provoke that thought. So, yeah, as an artist, that's one thing I feel like I've grown as, grown to doing more conceptual pieces, and I just hope to be able to provide more thought-provoking conceptual pieces in the future.